Good evening, friends. Thank you very much for the immense response to our earlier videos where we brought you speakers from different spheres. Today, we are on a spiritual wavelength totally. When I say this, I'm sure many of you may relate to me. As children, me and my brothers were sent to a Christian school called Hutchings High School in Pune. Daily, we would be forced to listen to psalms from the Bible and sing hymns, though many children were Hindus. Because my parents wanted to send us to the best school in Pune, and most such schools were run by Christians. As a result, I knew more about Jesus and his teachings than Sanatana dharma. My father was very religious, but he never forced us to go to the temples. As a result, we took to westernization very fast. I wanted to learn the guitar, and all of us dressed in jeans and t-shirts. We traveled abroad, and this continued till I grew older, and then slowly the pull towards my country, my religion, my traditions became so strong that I transformed completely. I learned that Sanskrit was and is the most intelligent language. According to research, NASA claims that Sanskrit, the ancient Hindu language, is the most suitable language to develop computer programming for their artificial intelligence program. Sanskrit has always been an important language in intellectual communities. Sanatana Dharma has a solution for everything. If you're stressed, you can meditate. When you're sick, Ayurvedic medicines can cure almost everything, though rather slowly. When you want peace, you can go to the temple or an ashram. Our clothes, our customs, and festivals are the envy of the world. So I was an Indian who had to come back to learn more about Sanatana Dharma later in life. Here we have a guest, an outsider who came to embrace Sanatana Dharma and became one herself. Meet the soft-spoken Maria Wirth, who made her tryst with India and changed completely to learn and absorb Sanatana Dharma and believe that it's the best. Maria Wirth, who is from Germany, was fortunate to become familiar with India's great wisdom. She shared her insights in 3 books and several chapters for anthologies and numerous articles in German and English language. In recent years, she often compared religions. Her first book in English is titled Thank You, India. And her latest book we will discuss towards the end, Maria. Welcome, Maria, to our show. And I'm sure all our viewers are looking forward to hear you speak. So,
thank you.
And today I would consider Maria as one of India's best ambassadors on Sanatana Dharma and many other things. So thank you, Maria, for being with us.
Thank you, Meena, and namaskar to everyone. You made a beautiful introduction of Sanatana Dharma already.
Yeah.
It shows Maria, also.
Yeah.
It shows Maria, also.
Yeah. A lot of us as children, the only schools that we had good education was in convent schools and Christian schools. Hence, a lot of us lost touch with our own religion. And many of us are coming back, at different stages in our life.
But what you call good schools,
yeah,
it was brainwashed into you. It was
absolutely. Yes,
I don't consider our present education good anyway, and it really puts us away from our roots. And you were not told the true story also.
Yes.
And I sometimes wonder why India continued. There's some echo. Can you hear? Now it's gone.
Yeah.
Now it's gone. Yeah. Why after independence you continued with Christian schools? I don't know whether I should say this, but I don't quite understand, because Christians, I speak from experience, we basically look down on all those who are not Christian.
Yeah.
And how can somebody teach children when he or she thinks they are not like us? So I sometimes wonder whether this should actually be happening. And it won't be talked about. It is not really mentioned.
Yeah,
but I remember also, I met once a colonel who went, when he was small, 5 years, he went to boarding school in Simla, I think Bishop Cotton or something. And he said it was so insidious and so subtle that she really made us feel so inhibited and so with low self-esteem. And it has an effect on the whole life. No?
Yes.
So this, I feel it's a pity that you never talk about how Christians actually see you.
Yeah, yes.
This should be a very important thing, because I remember I grew up in Germany, and when I was small, we were praying in school mainly for those who are in for Catholics. I was Catholic. For Catholics who were in Protestant areas. At that time, I did not know much about Hindus or Buddhists. No? But in Germany, we had Protestants and Catholics. And the Catholics, we were right, and the Protestants were wrong.
Yeah.
So at that time, even we were not allowed to pray together, Our Father in Heaven, with Protestants. We should not go to the church and so on. And I remember we were praying for those Catholics who live in an area where mainly Protestants are, so that they be strong in their faith and keep their faith.
Yeah.
Now this has changed. Meanwhile, now they realized they would lose even more people. So now we are economical Catholics and Protestants are together.
Yeah.
But outsiders like Hindus, they are still, not like us. So, and we have basically, when you believe it, we have to bring them around to us. We have to save their soul.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so surprised when, like Mother Teresa, when Hindus say, "Oh, she tried to convert." I think she tried. Of course, she would try to convert, because she would be a very bad Christian if she wouldn't do it, because we are taught you have to be Christian to go to heaven. Otherwise, you'll end up in hell. And such, I can call it nonsense, but this is never questioned. And it is not even questioned in interfaith dialogues, which is so painful. It's painful for me.
Yes. So in fact, Maria, see, what I wanted to ask you is that, see, a lot of the foreigners who have come to India, usually they come to learn Buddhism, and
exactly.
mainly it's Buddhism that they've been after. And you came and you took to Sanatana dharma. So can you just speak about what attracted you to our religion?
I was very fortunate. Because somehow I landed up at the Kumbh Mela without knowing what is a Kumbh Mela. And there I landed up at Anandamayi Ma, who was in 82, she was a great saint. Now she passed away in 82. And Deva Raha Baba, an old man, people were saying he's 300 years old. And in their environment, I somehow grew into it very naturally. In Ma's ashram, there were small sayings in English, and I was asking even, do I have to study Sanskrit to read the Upanishads? No, they are in English. So of course I wanted to know the content first. So I read in English. Even my English was not so good at the time. And so now I lost the track. You were saying,
So when you came and started taking to our religion.
I was lucky to get into it. But then when I came to Dehradun once, in Dehradun there are many Buddhist sects, not sects, they are called sects probably, like Sakya and Kagyu. And there were many foreigners also. And those foreigners expected me to be a Buddhist. And I told them, why should I limit myself to one person? I mean, Buddha was a Hindu, but if I am becoming a Buddhist now, then I have to follow what Buddha said and what has been written down 300 years later or 500 years later, we don't know. And it's not even sure whether he said it. But I have to limit myself to this. And when I am a Hindu, I have this broad view. I can take Vashishta and Rama, Krishna, Tripura Rahasya, there's Shiva, Kashmir Shaivism. There's so much where I can take and benefit from it. Whereas, but I felt also, Buddhism is very close to Hinduism.
Yes.
But sometimes I've Jainism also, or Sikhism. But I feel once a group gets out of Hinduism, like there are Shaivites and Vaishnavites and those who worship Devi, and they all get along quite well. But as soon as somebody says, no, we just don't worship Buddha, but we are Buddhists, we are a separate religion, then there is this pressure to somehow explain why we are better than others, than the original Hindus.
Yes.
And I feel this is a little, it gives a big problem, because Hindus are open, because they have no problem. No? Yeah, of course, you belong to us. No, we don't belong to you. So this is a little bit a pity. Yeah. But I was very comfortable with Hindu Dharma right from the beginning. It felt so familiar, so it spoke from my heart. When I read Swami Vivekananda, I said exactly what I feel, but I couldn't have expressed it so well. No? So this was, I'm very grateful that I came to know about this wisdom. And I felt in the beginning, I was absolutely sure that all Indians know about this great wisdom. Here's wisdom. This is the only base of wisdom, really. And I thought, I was in ashrams, I was around saints like this, and there the people all knew about it. The people I met, they all were very familiar with Indian tradition. So I thought every Indian would naturally be. And then only some 20 years later, when I moved into a normal environment, I realized, oh, there are people who don't know anything.
Yeah.
And even worse, those people, they talk bad about it.
Yeah.
They put it down.
Yes.
And this really shocked me. And that's when I started to write a little bit more. Earlier, I would just write on Vedanta, on philosophy, on pilgrimage places for German magazines mainly. At that time, I didn't write in English. And then from 2008, 8, I started to write more on comparing religion, trying to make Hindus understand, look, you have the best, but there's nothing comparable what you have, and you have inherited it. And you have to honor your heritage. You have to honor the rishis. I mean, you are so lucky and you put it down. It is painful for me. That's why I'm sometimes very engaged
What is the reason why they put their religion down?
I think it's because of education, mainly. I mean, it comes already since longer, since the British were here, since Macaulay started his English education system. It was very insidious, because education is so important. Even in one generation, you can change people. And those people, they were, the children, when they go into English, parents would send them to English schools, because if they want to get into government service, they have to go to these schools. Then they will not learn anything about their tradition. Sanskrit is cut off. And whatever was in Sanskrit, texts in Sanskrit, they will also be considered religious. And even so, they are not religious. I mean, religion is such a wrong word for Hindu Dharma. And even Dharma is a wrong word for religion. So,
in fact, Maria,
education was a big reason.
When you talk about education, see, we had a worse problem. See, under the the UPA regime, which was under Sonia Gandhi, all our textbooks used to make the Mughal emperors glorified. So our children were learning all about the horrors of their attacks and the invasions, and nothing about our, the grand emperors who taught so much, who were patrons of the art and culture. So our textbooks were completely, distorted to show that a particular religion, which is Islamic, they were the ones who actually brought in everything into India, the knowledge and everything. So now we have come to a stage where people are pressurizing the government to change the textbooks so that the next generation will learn, the truth, not distorted history.
Yeah. In fact, I'm very much against English medium.
Yes.
Imagine I grew up in Germany. If my parents had sent me at the age of, we started 6 only, at the age of 6 to a school where all the books were in English, where the teacher speaks in English, I would have been terribly lost. No? So, but in one point, I think is maybe not so bad about English education, because I watch the children here in my village. They don't understand any English, not even in the 8th class, even though they are in English medium. So in this way, they also don't understand what they are taught.
Yeah.
If they are taught history, the wrong history, they won't get much of it. No? But there's also one very sad thing. One boy went to a Christian school, primary school, and once a year in a week, they have a Christian Bible week. And he came back home and said he knew about that Jesus had to carry his cross, and he was telling me that Jesus had to carry his cross. And these things make a big impression on children.
Yes.
And
I remember, Maria, when I was a kid, and I was again studying in a Christian school. So one day I came back with a photo of Jesus. And in a photo of Jesus, and I asked my father and mother, I want to put it in our puja room. And my parents, being broad-minded, they said, fine, you put it there, you see. But that's not the way other religions would look at Sanatana Dharma. Okay, here, let me take you to a point that you made. You've explained that the word religion means to bind. So, to bind to a doctrine. In other religions, we either go to heaven or hell. Sanatana Dharma is different. Can you briefly tell us what is the difference here?
I feel the difference is about truth, main thing. In Sanatana Dharma, first, the knowledge which you have inherited is really divine knowledge. It is revealed knowledge.
Yes.
Human beings could have never come to this conclusion, especially not when like the Western history puts us that 20,000 years ago we were quite primitive. We were just discovering fire and language, and it's impossible.
Yes.
And you had right from the start, when you read especially the Puranas, this revelation comes together with the universe. It is inbuilt. Like I keep sometimes asking, look, imagine if we just, even now, if we would have no knowledge from Indian sources, it was spread maybe all over the world earlier, but now it's only in India left. If we would have no Surya Sadanta, no any knowledge, the Puranas, about the cosmos, about the nakshatras, about the timing even, could we map the sky? Could we even find out what is Mars, where is Jupiter?
See, here, Maria, in fact, I'll just interrupt you here. See, there are many things that are amazing. Okay. See, for example, I would say that, India is the cradle of culture, not really Mesopotamia. You see, if you're talking about, for example, let us just take a simple example of Ravana's palace in Sri Lanka. See, it is at such a great height that nobody can reach there. But he can reach there with his Vimana. So we had flying objects even then. So there was a lot of...
This is so obvious, but what pains me also is that even when I tweet about it, also that sometimes Indians, Hindus, react to it and say, no, I don't make fun of us. How do you say it? Don't make ridiculous statements. We are so intent that Western scholars should validate what we say, what Hindus say. No? And I feel we Hindus have to teach the West.
Yes.
The wisdom is here. And let's say even Darwin, evolution theory. Now in school you learn it. It, if you in America, if you're a creationist, you will be looked down upon. Now I can understand where this comes from. Where this comes from because when what we understand as a Christian God, it's it's not possible that this God who is sitting above the clouds, who is separate from his creation, according to Christianity, you must never say that he is one with you. So this is very difficult to explain how this could have happened, that some entity creates another entity. No? But in India, you have the one consciousness permeating everything. And so this is a scientific explanation, but it is also, it's not an abstract consciousness. Bhagwan is real. I mean, sometimes I wonder that this whole universe, like our body has millions, trillions of cells, and each cell has even consciousness. No? Look at the sky. There are trillions of stars, trillions of. Could it not be that it is the body of Brahman, body of Ishvara? And Ishvara is conscious, and in this universe, he's conscious.
In fact, Maria, see another thing that has come
not
into
only
light. Another thing that has come into light is, as excavations are happening all over the world, so many temples and so many Shiva lingas, so many relics of Sanatana dharma have been found all over the world. Malaysia, in parts of South America. So you know that Shiva existed. Shiva existed long before even this world was formed. There were remnants of all this in the world, but it was hidden. So whenever something was found, it was hidden, and now slowly these things are coming out because of a lot of enterprising people. So
Maria, but I feel we have lost a lot of knowledge because we don't know what is.
Can I come to the next point?
We don't really know.
Please complete.
Hello?
Please complete.
No, I think we have lost we have lost the knowledge. Also, what was burned in Nalanda, so much was destroyed. And for example, how they made these temples, how they made Kailasha Mandir. It's incredible. No? And we lost also even why is there this Shiva Lingam? Some in Angkor Wat, there are thousands also of Shiva Lingams. We don't really know what is the function, or you know what I mean. A lot of knowledge, but I mean, India is definitely the cradle of civilization, but I notice also that the West is trying very hard to make it Mesopotamia. They have put very beautiful videos and on the net, which get millions of views. And even friends in Germany told me that in recent times a lot was mentioned about Mesopotamia, and even it was mentioned that in Mesopotamia they used to have an exchange between the gods and man. So this is coming now because we can't explain what this knowledge. But Indians are still not when you say yes, gods came to Earth, no? They came from the different locus. There are the locus. You have also knowledge in the Puranas. It's there, but they don't have the confidence to say yes. This is our view, and prove your view. If your view is better, we are ready to come over. But you cannot prove your view so far, no? So. But we don't even talk about kalpas, for example. We don't talk about yogas. There's a lot to. India has so much to offer.
Maria, another point is that see, Sanatana dharma is the most evolved of religions because our rishis and our gurus have a different level of consciousness. So the large followings they have frighten people from other religions. Hence, baseless accusations are made on them and they land in jail or are sent into exile outside India or are killed, as in what happened in the Palgar Sadhu lynching in Maharashtra. You never see a priest or a mullah go to the prison, however big the crime, as in the case of Bishop Franco. The irony is that in a Hindu majority country like India, Hindus are always at the receiving end.
Yeah, painful.
Yes,
I
yes.
I
You would
I don't
agree.
understand. I don't understand. I understand only. I can explain it to myself only that after partition,
Yes,
that Nehru, who took over, he was not a Hindu.
yes,
He probably genuinely believed that India would be better off without Hindu dharma, and
yes,
that's why he. A friend who grew up in Bihar in the
yes,
50s, he told me that people were made to feel ashamed to do puja even.
yes,
It became a little better after India lost the war in 62 against China, and Nehru got a little deflated because his Hindi genie bye bye didn't work anymore so much. So after that, he said it was a bit easier to
yeah,
stand by your puja, but earlier people were made to be to feel ashamed actually
yeah,
to show their Hinduness, and this is and in education also you don't get any knowledge, and now you have already several generations. The parents of these children today they grew up already like this,
yes,
so we have really to come back and
yes,
discover again. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. See, another important point, Maria, as we all know, it's very important whenever we have problems, it's important to study the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, as they have a lot of answers to our problems, even for the modern man. And how you see, in as we see even in people coming in from Hollywood taking to Hinduism because they are tired and fed up of their religion, and they feel that there is some sense of truth and what do you say wisdom in Sanatana dharma. So people like Julia Roberts and Richard Gere, all of them have taken to Hinduism almost spontaneously without anybody pushing them. It's like parents in a Hindu home. They never tell you to go to the temple. You go there voluntarily. It's this sense of freedom that makes Hinduism more easy to cope with. Your feelings on that, Murray?
I feel the main issue is this question in Hindu Dharma, in the Upanishads: who am I? This it everybody has questions when, especially young people, and now these questions are kind of pushed away.
Yeah,
Don't ask them. But
yeah,
the questions are there, and this "who am I?" I feel it makes so much sense what India says about
yeah,
it. That you are one with everything.
yes,
This this essence in you. Everybody says when you are asked who is there when you knock at the door, you say
yeah,
I. No? Everybody says I automatically. So this I, the real I, is the same in us.
yes,
If it is not connected with thoughts about a
yeah,
person. I
yeah,
mean, this Maria, this is just based on thoughts and emotions.
yeah,
But the pure consciousness, which means consciousness without content, thought less, emotion less consciousness, sometimes we can get a feeling of it just being aware. This is not known in those other religions. Like even those Germans who praised Indian wisdom, like Schopenhauer, Schlegel brothers. Schopenhauer, at least I read and I know that he understood I am is the most important thing, but he thought I am is who I am. I am somebody who is very much interested in philosophy, and I am a little bit higher, or not only a little bit higher, but much higher than those people who drink only beer and are not interested in anything. So this is misunderstood, basically. No? So,
yes,
but when you really search, when you are really interested, this will touch you because it is about the truth.
yes,
We
absolutely,
are one with everything, and only your tradition, your text still can explain it. And this is, I feel it is so important that
but
Christianity
yeah,
doesn't have it. We are separate. Each one of us is separate. We have even our own soul.
yeah,
And Atman is one with Atman is Brahman.
yeah,
Upanishad say, no? But in Christianity we have we are so lost and so alone also in the West, and they cut us off now. I mean, our societies have really gone off track, I feel, and I am afraid they want to put Indian society also off track, like
In
this
fact, yeah,
trying to finish off family system,
yes,
to
yes,
putting in this feminism. I feel I grew up with it. When I was in school, I was happy that I'm a girl and not a boy, because I thought I don't have to make a career. And when when I had finished, then I realized, oh, now I should make a career. I am then the feminists had suddenly come on the scene. So so I mean,
in
society
fact,
there's now, even I don't remember who said it, but in England there's a minister for loneliness.
yeah,
In and
yeah,
now
amazing.
when Christmas season is coming, there's so many people now, especially now they lock us down. So many people who are alone
Yeah,
and who cannot deal with their loneliness. And
in
it's not
fact,
loneliness with being alone. They don't they are lost. They want to do something, and they no? And
in fact,
whereas when you know that Bhagwan is in you, and the main goal of life is to discover this
yeah.
presence,
In
which is
fact,
always
that is
present.
my next point, Maria. See, in our religion, we are taught to look inward to find the supreme God within us, and this is also what we find in animals or in nature. And is this why Hindus have never attacked any nation or conquered lands or brought home slaves? Rishis and our Puranas teach us that what we see today, as in your words, is something like virtual reality. Okay, it's the same as you said in a previous talk, that scientists also believe that there is only uh, one energy, which is the same
Mm.
thought. We call it our consciousness. Can you speak a bit about this, Maria?
Well, science says all is energy,
Yes,
and Hindu rishis, they say this energy is conscious.
yes,
And some scientists, they would like to acknowledge this consciousness. I remember I was at a conference in 1982 in Mumbai, where Fritjof Capra was there. And I remember him saying that this energy is in all likelihood conscious. So but it's not yet the mainstream view.
yeah, yeah,
So in this inward looking, it is so helpful also now, especially so many in the West, they have psychological problems.
yeah,
But when you, again, the main thing, when you find Bhagwan inside, when you, first of all, you have to be sure that he's there. I mean, you read about it, then you really reflect on it. Ask yourself questions. I remember in the beginning, I was sitting on a roof terrace. I had read already quite a bit, but I asked myself, I wanted my own questions. No? What is God? Where is he? He's here, but why don't I see him? And like asking, sometimes the mind would take off, and then you bring it back, and then you come clearly to the answers which Indian scriptures also tell you. And this is, I feel it is so comforting to know that you are never alone,
yeah.
that you have always help, and it doesn't mean that your life is always going up. When you get trouble, everybody gets trouble, sometimes very painful trouble also. And then if somebody dear dies, or so many things, if you lose your money or whatever, no. So but this trust can be is there. And I feel also one very important point is to this this knowledge that the present is the most important time, if you want to say time, no? That we past and future is just thoughts.
Yeah.
We live only in the present. We are always in the now. And if you have any problem, and just try to be in the now,
Yes.
then it is very helpful. No? So there's so much knowledge here, which is helpful for living also, for day-to-day living. I remember I once went to Pondicherry from Delhi by train to Chennai, and there was a lady I came into the cabin, and there was already a foreigner lady sitting. She was older to me. It was maybe 20 years ago. And an Indian gentleman was with her, but he dropped her. So she was very much intent on giving trouble. I was first. She came later. So I was sitting near the window. This is my place, move. No? So quite rough. And then I had put my bags under that. No, this is my place, you put the bag. So she was trying very much. She was very unpleasant. Yeah. Then I felt something rising in me, some vibration or whatever. Then I thought, do I want now 36 hours sitting here and having this resentment towards her? I didn't want, no? Yeah. So I was lying down on my upper berth and just tried to feel how it feels, because there was already a feeling inside, no? Because I was annoyed. I was, how can she be so unpleasant? No? And then even she called the conductor. I said, okay, I move, but I didn't want to give in immediately. I move when the conductor comes. I definitely move. No? If this is your place, because I couldn't see where, but I had the upper berth, so I was at a disadvantage. So when she got the conductor from the corridor, and he probably was surprised that there were two foreigners. Anyway, I was lying on my berth, and then just not thinking, but just feeling this this vibration in the body, no? This inner energy field, which had already been stirred. And after about 10 minutes or so, it just expanded, and I felt perfectly peaceful. And if I had stayed a little longer, I might have even felt compassion for her. But at that time, I just felt amused. I was not anymore annoyed, not anymore angry. I could offer her, when I had something, I gave her cashew nuts. She didn't eat. Once she put her feet right next my face. So I said, calmly, could you please put your feet down? Earlier, I mean, little things like this. So I felt this was a really good method, just not to think, not to let your thoughts run because something terrible has happened or something, but just how does it feel now? How does this, whether it's anger or depression or whatever it is, how does it actually feel now? This, I think, is a very good method to deal with situations. Very practical also, no?
Yeah. See, which takes me to the next question, Maria. See, is something also which this gentleman, Ned, is saying. When I traveled to Germany, I found the people are not very religious. But how come there are a lot of missionaries from Germany work in third world countries in converting people?
This I also did not know at all. And even when I talk with friends and I tell them that in India, there are, even especially the Protestant mission, there are many missionaries, they don't believe me. Yeah. One friend said, you have to write about it and get it into newspapers. This is impossible nowadays. Nobody is converting, but normal Germans don't know. And the thing is, I went to Germany once. On every railway station, on every subway station, they have this wonderful advertisement below glass. A little girl, Indian girl, you can help me just with €5 a month. No? So not saying anything about religion, but you can help my village and me to. So this is, I don't know why they are so strong. They have, of course, the church has a lot of money. And I feel in Christianity is usually seen as a religion for women and children. Men, like my father, would go to church, but he was not showing it or not religious in this sense. But the only people who are religious, of course, who show it, that are the people who get into employment relationship with the church, who become priests, no? Or who become missionaries, or who become charitable workers. And they are, of course, they have to show their loyalty.
Yeah.
So I said, I don't understand. I feel, painful.
Yeah. In fact, I find when I travel to Europe, I found a lot of the churches were, just keeping a lot of old furniture and things like that. It's not, very functional either. People just go there when they feel cold or something. It's like, whereas here, I mean, it's totally the opposite.
No, in Germany in the 70s, people stopped going to the church. When I was in the 70s, I really felt churches now, religion is on its way out. It's finished.
Yeah.
Now it came back because of Islam.
Yes.
Suddenly we were confronted with very religious foreigners, Turks mainly in the beginning. And now, since 2015, of course, with a lot of crime also. Yeah. And so I think there's a little movement back to the church. I was in Munich once, and I was surprised that on a Sunday morning, I was walking through town, and there were many very fashionable young people also going into a church. So it was quite surprising. But no, it's not much. No, I mean, I heard this priest was very charismatic, so this church was a little bit special. But usually people, you can't believe it. This is my point also. Once you lose faith, like I lost faith already when I was a teenager. I told my mother I won't go to church anymore. And when you lose faith, you cannot go back. I don't think so. And that's why I feel Hindus should really try to make us lose faith, because we were brainwashed into a system which is for dominion, world dominion, but it's not for my moksha. It's not to help me personally. I mean, you cannot, I feel they have taken the concept of one God from India.
Yeah.
Brahman is one. And then they have distorted him so badly. Today I got on Twitter, I had written something, and then I got a reply. I don't understand why those two religions, Christianity and Islam, see their God like an underworld don. And he says, if you don't belong to our gang, if you won't, then I will fry you in hot oil. I mean, but it's a little bit like this. How can the supreme being, which is behind these billions of stars, behind this incredibly huge universe, which still 200 years ago they believed it was 6,000 years old, how can this one God want everybody to follow only one person, only Jesus or Muhammad? It doesn't make sense. Yeah. But when you hear it as a child, you start believing it, and then you think, oh, I have only one life, and after this, eternal hell or eternal heaven. This is a big, big thing. And to make sure many people just stay with it. Yeah. And I think, people who have the courage to get out and say, no, it can't be true. There are not too many, maybe, but we have to work towards this to make people see sense. Really see, look, here is a wisdom. Here, this makes sense. It is based on science. I mean, I don't mean to say science is a be all and end all. Science is also belief often, but it has a better image nowadays than a religion. And I still consider Hindu Dharma not a religion in the same league. It is very different from Christianity and Islam.
Yeah. Have you always been this kind of a person, Maria? Always thinking about things, questioning yourself. Have you always been such a person? And has that made you really come to India? Yeah.
I don't know, but they say people with a long face, no? They keep thinking. And I always had a long face. I don't know. No, I was thinking when I was a teenager. I was wanting very much. I I had always one wish, which was I want to go home. Even before the Beatles were singing it, but even especially when the Beatles were singing it, also it was like, and home didn't mean my family. I did not know what home meant, but I really felt I want to go home. This is not my home, no? So, and I wanted to get clear about death, because I felt if I die in the end anyway, why should I make any effort for this life? I remember when we got a TV in 1959. I was 9 years old at the time, and there this American soaps were coming, and the dream for a life was to have a bungalow with a swimming pool, because all the American houses had a swimming pool. So I remember thinking at that time, what is the difference if I really have a house with a swimming pool, or if I close my eyes and think I am sitting on a swimming pool? So, I mean, maybe a little strange thought. So I was never very ambitious, but yeah, I was always thinking.
When you came to India, it would have been a very different kind of India, where you won't see the kind of population that you see today. It would have been less crowded, and you would have been going to all these temples and ashrams. What was your feeling when you travel like that? Did you feel a sense of freedom or going towards enlightenment? What was the feeling within you as you traveled?
I once stopped over in Bareilly and went up to the mountains, and I changed from the train to a bus, and it was early morning, and second class train and bus, and then I thought, I really have a hard life, but I wouldn't exchange with anyone. I mean, I even now when I think back, sometimes I slept in rooms which were really not clean, and small hotels or in ashrams, sleeping on the floor. But it didn't matter at all. India, I feel, has a very different atmosphere. There is really joy in the atmosphere. It is Germany is so empty compared to it. So I was always happy that if I would get my visa and I could stay longer again. And once I remember in 82, I came from Varanasi, and I was in Aurobindo Ashram in Delhi, and there was a foreigner. I had met him earlier, and he introduced me to an Indian, and I didn't know, he introduced me saying, "She is the only foreigner I know who never complains about India." So whenever I thought, if I start complaining, sometimes things are also difficult, no? But if I would complain, then I have to go. I have no right to be here. No? So I very much appreciate India.
Tell us, Maria. See, you've seen the way India has been changing, and what is it that you like or don't like about modern India?
Modern India, sometimes I feel so desperate that modern Indians don't value what they have got. That they don't know about it, that they don't learn about it, that they look towards the West. This, I feel, this is maybe the most painful thing. Otherwise, I have no complaints.
See, Maria,
I like it. Yeah.
You'll find that, see, there is a very sort of concerted agenda by certain people to mock our religion. And it is in the way of movies, it's in the way of books, articles, by global media as well as internal media, and to mock our country and also mock our prime minister. So there is a concerted agenda to sort of disintegrate India, and they do it especially through films and TV series. So there has been a lot of protests from Hindus against this. What do you think is happening here?
I think they want to finish the last culture, the last civilization, which is still alive. I really think that is the reason. Because why do they now suddenly praise Mesopotamia?
Yes.
India is still alive. India
Yes.
has, Deproy, he said, I think, I hardly can believe, but he said, if I remember right, 40 million texts are still in India which have not been translated into
Yes.
English. 40 million. And
Yes.
Greece, which is supposed to be the cradle of European civilization, Greece has only some 10 to 20,000.
Yes.
And imagine how much has been burned also.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's so much, and I am convinced that so much has been stolen. There is a podcast on the internet which is called "Knowledge Makes India Incredible."
Yes.
No, Knowledge Makes by Ashish Dar.
Yeah.
And there it says that the Russians had built their first intercontinental ballistic missiles on the basis of Indian knowledge.
Yes.
The Germans have taken so
Yes.
many texts. A professor in Tübingen, he praised because a missionary had donated him to the university in Tübingen, has donated many Indian texts, and he praised this gift and he said it's an ornament for our university.
Yes.
So you should know that I read in Oxford there are some 8,000 Indian texts, and we don't even know what is there. And I think everything, like when they discovered that there are now, they guessed this species, how many species are there. And I was not surprised, they were saying something about 8 million, above 8 million. Indian tradition says 84 lakh.
Yeah. Yeah.
No? So I really think whenever they come up with something new,
Yeah.
it is based on some knowledge which they have discovered.
Yes. Yeah. In fact, Maria, see, when you talk about people, destroying or stealing, a lot of our idols have been stolen and taken out of our country with the connivance of the politicians. Usually, people related to the politicians have both worked hand in hand to remove some of the most ancient idols. And see, in Hindu temples, they are revered and they are seen as a fulcrum of everything. So in many ways Hinduism has been looted in many sense, and it's just not books, it's also all these artifacts, these deities,
Mm-hmm.
so much of
Yeah, but Indians don't speak up.
yeah,
They should
yeah,
really demand them back. It's
yeah,
yours. It
yeah,
should be back. And we have no right to say no. You can't have it. It's not
yes,
possible.
yes.
I think
In fact,
yeah.
no, please continue.
No, in Germany, or in France, some African has made a kind of point by stealing from a museum.
Yes,
He was caught, of course, but he
yeah,
said, "Look, it is ours."
yes,
And I feel I'm really, when Indians keep saying, "Oh, we don't want reparation from England. We don't want to say anything against the Muslim looters and invaders." Why?
yeah,
Why? Look at the Israelis. I mean, they made us Germans rightly feel very apologetic.
yes,
Have we made the Muslim invaders feel apologetic? I mean, we know that a lot of this looting was based on their religiousness,
yes,
because they felt we are kafirs and we are not worth anything. So this, if we would really, then yeah, you think, oh, we should not disturb the harmony in society. But
yes,
this is truth. We cannot build a society on falsehood also.
yeah, absolutely.
And
But
we are not, we don't mean the present day Muslims in India. They are also victims.
yeah,
They have, in all likelihood, their ancestors have converted under duress because they
yes,
were
yes. Hindus earlier.
so. But now they were definitely Hindus, but now they have been brainwashed so badly, and they are, these both religions are based on fear. And this fear of hell is must be taken serious.
Yeah.
So to free them out of it, to make them see, look, Bhagwan is not cruel. He's not
Yeah.
an underworld don who will
Yeah.
send you eternally to hell. So it would be helpful for many, I think.
Yeah. In fact, Maria, see, a lot of the today's youngsters are fighting this, and they have formed groups and associations where we are trying to bring back a lot of the issues. And but you must realize one thing, that a lot of these, when you're talking about Google, or you're talking about Twitter, or you're talking about any of these forums, they're all anti-Hindu. You
Yeah,
see, because
yeah,
recently a lot of the people who are harmless people on Twitter, and they just promote Indian values, and as this thing about Sanatana dharma, information about that, our heritage sites, they are blocked. On what
yeah,
basis? Absolutely no,
yeah, yeah,
nothing. I mean, nothing harmful. So what happens is that when you have a larger agenda in the world, where you have to suppress the only religion that has been standing for so many years, then it's very apparent that it's the money power that is playing games. You see, and even the Hindus within India itself, when they are given the money, they tend to betray Hindus.
yeah, yeah,
This is the
yeah, yeah.
problem we are facing. This is the problem we are facing.
I don't understand, because the ideal society would be if we were based on Hindu wisdom. Because
Yes,
once you know that Bhagwan is in us, you have an inner strength. When
yes,
you know that he is in others also, including
yeah,
in animals, including in
yeah,
nature, you will treat animals, nature, and others also well.
mm,
So it is the best basis for this.
yes.
So why I don't understand why those
There
religions
are,
are so much protected. But
because there are
I
political.
maybe one point, yeah. Basically, Christianity kept us down.
Yes,
I mean, we were happy to wait for heaven.
yes,
When we are dead, and we go to heaven.
yeah,
So in this way, maybe they want to dump down humanity again. And now
yes,
Christianity doesn't keep the West down anymore. Now
yeah,
they bring in maybe Islam
mm,
or maybe communism. I don't
yes.
know. But India would be the best, definitely. Sanatana Dharma should spread over the whole world. But for
Yeah.
this, Hindus have to stand up. We have to stand up.
What do you
You
think of the
cannot. Hmm?
what do you think of the present government under Narendra Modi ji? Do you feel that, see, they are working towards bringing about change?
I feel a big change has happened, because now more people speak up, and we are more confident.
Yes,
And in the last, I think in the last 6 years, a lot of change has happened.
yes,
But also, I don't understand why Hindus are still not equal, why they are not treated equal in the sense of temples or education. And those issues are so important to make Hindu society strong, because it cannot be in the interest of India to make India um, follow an Abrahamic religion.
yes,
India had a petition. They got, I mean, when Muslims at that time said we cannot live with Hindus,
yeah,
then now should we not ask, look, you didn't go, so you stayed here. Do you look down on us? Do you follow Quran 98.6, which says we are the worst of creatures and only you go to heaven? Do you believe this? If I have a Muslim teacher, will you look down on me? We never ask these questions, because it
yeah.
would make them also reflect. Because who can believe this? Who can believe that the
Do you
great
do
God who created this universe?
do you think, Maria, that a person like George Soros has influence on what's happening around the
Yeah,
world?
I am afraid a lot is happening now in this world, not
Mm,
which is not good. Yes,
yes, yes,
I am actually worried. Yeah,
yeah. And it's the money power that is changing things. It's very frightening that way. Yeah. Going back to
but it
the
seems,
script. Yeah, please. Yeah, please.
No, but
Continue.
the power seems to be so big. Now look
Yes.
at what is happening in America even.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Maria, you say that Vedas is the greatest gift of humanity. Can you elaborate on this?
Basically, what I said already is there's so much knowledge contained in it.
Yes.
And also the knowledge about who we are.
Yes.
And which makes the goal, the meaning of life, the purpose of life clear.
Yeah.
Which gives us a direction, which
Yeah.
makes us also feel, I think bhakti, to develop bhakti is also very important.
Yeah.
To feel close to your Ishtadeva.
Yeah.
And sometimes I wonder, look, when you do Namaskar to Surya in the morning, I mean, don't we believe that Surya somehow is real? It's not just matter, that matter, no. And it is real. I'm convinced of this. So this, this only India has. I remember I was once in Germany at the bus stand, a pale February morning, and the sun came pale up on the sky, and I did like this, but I felt a little embarrassed, almost like nobody was there, but the cars would pass by. Yeah.
Yeah. We have Sharmila. She's saying in Sanatana Dharma, we believe in karma and we find it's more practical even to this day and every age. We feel karma is the best religion of all times. It's practical. We can always reflect on our deeds.
Yes,
She's talking about karma.
the karma basically explains why things happen to me.
Yeah.
It makes it easier to accept.
Yeah.
So karma is very helpful.
Yes.
And it is true also.
Yeah.
Even Christianity has this, no? So
yes.
but they can't explain because you have only one life.
Yeah. Maria, your latest book is called Thank You, India, a German woman's journey to the wisdom of yoga. Can you just speak a little bit about us so that our viewers can, if they want to buy it also, they can buy the book?
And it was my thank you to India. And I had in this 38 years, I had different stages. At first, I was for 7 years traveling all over India. I went to so many places. I had met so many gurus, and I didn't have a guru. Yeah. And then for 7 years, I went to Sai Baba's ashram, and I considered him my guru.
Yeah.
And then some things happened, and I left him. And so after this, I landed up. I mean, it's a long story, and but I tried to portray India also, and what is so beautiful about the tradition and about India on my personal journey, like even going to pilgrimage places. And in the end, I talk more also about Macaulay and that India is so much attacked about rape. Indians are rapists, and Indians, even terrorists. Can you imagine? They wanted to brand in Hindus as terrorists, and it almost had succeeded if this Kasab had not been caught alive. No? So no, it came. It is a very easy to read book, and I tried to put in my insights and putting it in an easy way on my what happened in those 40 years over the years. Yeah.
What do you think about death, Maria? How do you see death?
I just got, before this started, an hour before, I got a news that I am in touch with only 2 school friends from my primary school, from my own hometown. No? Yeah. And I just got a message that one of them had died very suddenly. So I feel...
I think your camera is not... Can you just check your camera?
No, how do I check it?
Yeah. Okay, you continue to speak. Maybe it'll rectify itself. Yeah, now you're okay.
No, at death, I feel death is not frightening for me.
Yeah.
What is little frightening is that I would suffer. before that I would be sick, because this is nobody likes it. It's painful for everybody. So this, I feel, I told my mother also. She.
Friends, we'll just connect Maria again. Please bear with me. Meanwhile, viewers, I'd also like to tell you that Maria is very fluent in Hindi. I'll just ask her to join us again. Meanwhile, if you have some more questions, please do give it to us.
Meena?
Yes, Maria. I'm just waiting for you to. Yes, you're back.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Maria, we were talking about death. You said that you're not apprehensive about death.
No, I really feel one gets better with this.
Yeah.
Not to have a body. I mean, maybe a strange feeling, but death was one issue which I thought a lot about it when I was 20, 21, which is maybe quite unusual, but I wanted to get clear about this, and I really feel, no, it's not, one can even look forward to it, maybe.
Yeah. Can you also, Maria, speak a bit in Hindi for our viewers on, for example, see, I would see, sorry, viewers, there's a technical problem here. I'll just try again. Just ask her to join again. So I wanted a question that I wanted to ask her was that does she perhaps if she believes in reincarnation, was she at some point an Indian and thus attracted to our culture and our religion? I'm just waiting for her to join and then. I don't understand the question by Elite Launchers. We'll take it later. Yeah. Yes, Maria? Can you hear me?
Meena?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Meena?
Yeah. Can you hear me, Maria? Your mic? Your mic?
Hello?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you just, your mic, Maria? Can you speak again?
Meena, are you here? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, I can hear you. Can you continue?
Maybe we should stop now because it is keeps getting disconnected. No?
Yeah, can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
So just one last question is that, see, do you, at any point, if you believe in reincarnation, do you think that you were at some point born as an Indian?
Probably, yes. Even so, I don't really think about it. But yeah, I think, yeah.
Thank you so much, Maria, for this beautiful session. And we'll again like to call you at another time. Our viewers all thank you for this beautiful session.
Thank you, Meena. Thank you. Dhanyavad.
Thank you.